We take you now on 2 weeks missionary patrol in the New Guinea highlands, one of the most frequent activities of a missionary in that part of the mission field. In the highlands, you are dependent on airstrips. So we depart from one airstrip in the wide mission district of St. Lawrence's Simbai in order to take 2 weeks visit to the centers which supply the area with all the needs that missions can bring. Beautiful country. As we go into the mountains, following the tracks, you see the work that has been done by the administration in opening up this country. Beautiful country to travel to, waterfalls at the side of the track, and the forests and bush views and mountain vistas everywhere. Interesting feature are the bridges. Here's one made of logs. There are many other varieties. The most precarious, those made from cane and thin sticks over the wider rivers. We shall see one later. We're travelling a long time, about 2 or 3 weeks. My dog goes with me for company. And these 2 men, myself, have stayed behind the main party to do this filming. Sunrises and the sunsets are often also times of great beauty. Now we stop overnight, and the next morning arrive quite quickly at our first outstation. Again, the cross stands as witness to the work that we are trying to do. These outstations are staffed by bodies of fine young men and women who come from far away in Papua. Down there, the church has been at work for some 60 years. And these young men and women come trained as teachers and medical orderlies and carpenters to work amongst these distant highland people. We arrive at the station, and it's traditional that everybody lines up to greet the patrol that has come so far to see them. We kneel down and say a prayer, a thanksgiving for safe arrival, and a blessing on the station which is to be visited. People in New Guinea love shaking hands. You go around and shake hands with everybody, from the largest to the smallest school child, and the old women and the young men. Let's see what goes on an upstation where the missionary work is really done. Here, schooling. 2 or 3 years ago, these children knew nothing about school or anything like the ordered life that we know in our kind of community. They learn quickly. We teach English from the very, very start. Go inside and see them at work, reading and writing. Quite ordinary things, of course, but they are the beginning of an education for these people. They love doing drill. It's a great favorite amongst them all, including the teachers. And we often find that the timetable gets rather stretched to allow as much drill and games as possible and rather few lessons. That's why we go around every now and again to check up and see how the program is going along. Well, we visit that station, and now we will go on to the next. They love to see us and wave us goodbye as we go. We lift up the cargo again, loading up the iron boxes. If you look carefully, you'll see the dog get a kick, just to help her on her way. And there is the road ahead of us for the next day's journey. Along the road, we very often meet the people. Some of them know us and some of them don't. Those who do very often bring food to us, as they know we need this on the track. We're dependent on the countryside for our vegetables as we go around. And of course, sugarcane is one of the most popular items of all. We buy this or are given it for the carriers, 20 or 30 men accompanying us, and it's a great refreshment. The kind lady who brought it to us seems to be highly amused. This young gentleman is our interpreter, and he endeavored to get a picture of me eating sugarcane. He wasn't a very good shot with it, but didn't do too bad a job. So we shake hands, and on we go. In the middle of the day, we often stop to boil the billy and have a lunch break. And this is an occasion, too, when we can listen into the radio. We have an arrangement there whereby messages are broadcast to us over the post office network so that we can pick them up at any time and any place on our tours. Messages from England or Australia can reach us in this way, and they can save you many hours of work and walking and worry when you get a message in good time when you're out on patrol. Here was one to say an aircraft was due on the 15th of the month bringing more stores for us from the secretary of the mission. So we pack up again and continue on the day's walk. The iron box is good protection for the radio. Men carry up to 20 or 30 pounds. These beautiful views again that are around you all the time, and a clear, cool mountain stream. We very often stop at these, if it's not flooded, for a drink or even a swim. And then the mountains all around us as ever. Meet some of the people. Here are some young men. This man tattooed the black on his face is part of the tattooing that they do on there for decoration, and of course parrot wings and the fur of little bush animals are all used in their personal decoration. Here are two chieftains, pearl shells in the nose and round the neck, and all around them their beautiful countryside. This is the great Jimmy Valley in the Western Highlands, a part of the mission district which we serve. Dark tops and clouds and deep valleys, magnificent country. Again, the cross stands as witness as we arrive at our next station. Here we see some very valuable medical work going on by a trained Papuan medical orderly. These men do remarkable work considering the training that they have. They have to treat and serve things which would quite stagger us if we were left with them to do on our own. Going on to the next station, we see the third of the needs supplied by missions amongst the people of New Guinea, a service of worship. The people come from miles around every Sunday, learning the habit of Sunday by Sunday worship, which is of course quite new to them. The occasion of a patrol visiting is also always the time for a great gathering for an outdoor service. The teachers carry on routine instruction Sunday by Sunday, and the visit of the priest in charge is a great opportunity to tell them more and to help them on with their course of instruction. We preach and teach in Pidgin English with an interpreter, and here is the sermon being preached and being interpreted into the local language by one of the young men from the village who has been into the outside world and learnt Pidgin English and come back to help his own people. So the patrol goes on again. And those 3 visits that we've paid have taken us more than a week, as we spend 2 or 3 more beautiful views across the great Jimmy Valley, looking over the Backbone Mountains of New Guinea, the Sepik-Wagi Divide, the river there below the mists running down hundreds of miles to the sea. And here is one of the bridges, this one of thin sticks and rope. Tread delicately. The stream is far below you, and there are better ways to have a swim than to fall off a bridge. And so the last day of the walk. And we have a long trek back home to the airstrip at Simbai, our headquarters. So we start in the early morning as the dawn is rising and climb to the top of the main range, up to about 7,000 feet to the top of the Bismarck Range, and drop down again a 7 or 8 hour walk on this last trek home. Out of the tree line, we suddenly get our first view of home, of the Simbai airstrip. There it is. Very welcome, I can tell you, and you've been away for 2 or 3 weeks. And the men hurry home like homing horses, with the last light of the day still to go. We pass a few hamlets on the way, and there's the strip ahead of us. It looks quite close, but distances are deceptive in these mountains. We have another hour and a half's walk still ahead of us. But at last, the airstrip is right in front of us, and we come in nearer and nearer to home at the end of the long walk. The airstrips are most important in the work in the highlands for missionary, government and private enterprise. There are no roads, and without the aircraft to serve us, the work could never be done. And so, with the men that have accompanied us, in good company, singing as they go very often, as you've heard them on this film, we arrive home. The rector and his missus meet again, and perhaps this may be a little witness of the work that shows the cross is raised over New Guinea.